Hey everyone, welcome back to Gaming for Fish. Today we're diving into the crazy zombie-filled world of girls and boys versus zombies on Roblox. Watch out, because it's about to get intense and hilarious. While we fend off these zombies, I've got some fun stories to share with you. Trust me, you'll want to stick around for these. They're guaranteed to make you laugh. So, gear up, grab some snacks, and let's jump into the chaos together. All right, let's see if I can survive and keep you entertained at the same time. Let's do this. On a misty autumn evening as the sun dipped below the horizon, Ellie and Zach found themselves wandering through a creepy, abandoned park. They had been separated from their parents in the chaos of what the news was calling the Big Scare, a strange event where people claimed to see actual zombies roaming the streets. Ellie clutched a stick, and Zach a slingshot as they cautiously made their way through the fog. Suddenly, a shadowy figure stumbled out from behind a tree. "Zombie!" Ellie screamed, raising her stick. Zach aimed his slingshot, his hands trembling. The figure stepped closer, revealing a greenish-gray complexion, tattered clothes, and a bow tie. The zombie raised its hands. "Whoa, whoa, easy there, kiddos," the zombie said in a surprisingly cheerful voice. "I come in pieces. I mean peace." Ellie froze. Did it just talk? Zach lowered his slingshot slightly. "You're a zombie. Zombies don't talk." The zombie grinned, revealing oddly clean teeth for someone so undead. "Well, I'm not your average zombie. Name's Chuck. I tell jokes, not eat folks. You've got nothing to fear except my puns. They're killer." Ellie and Zach exchanged bewildered looks. "Prove it," Ellie said, still clutching her stick. Chuck cleared his throat, or what sounded like a groan. "Why did the zombie take up gardening?" Zach shrugged. "Why?" "Because it wanted to grow some brains." Chuck wiggled his eyebrows. Ellie giggled despite herself. "Okay, that's kind of funny." "See, I'm not all gloom and doom," Chuck said, doing a clumsy spin. "Now, what are you two doing out here all alone? It's dangerous, you know. Not everyone out here is as charming as me." "We got separated from our parents," Zach admitted. "Well, let's find them. I've got a killer sense of direction, and not just because I once worked in a graveyard," Chuck said, laughing at his own joke. Despite their initial fear, Ellie and Zach decided to trust Chuck. As they walked through the eerie park, Chuck told more jokes, making them laugh so hard that they forgot how scared they'd been. "What do zombies order at the dinner?" Chuck asked. "What?" Ellie asked, grinning. "Head cheese and gravy," Chuck howled, his laugh echoing through the trees. After a while, Chuck stopped and sniffed the air. "Aha! I smell hot cocoa." Ellie's eyes lit up. "Mom always makes hot cocoa when she's scared." "Then let's follow the cocoa trail," Chuck declared, leading them through the winding paths with surprising agility. Before long, they spotted a small cabin with lights glowing warmly inside. Through the window, Ellie and Zach could see their parents, looking worried but safe. "You found them," Zach cheered. Chuck smiled. "Told you I'd help. Now go give them a hug. No zombie puns required." Ellie turned to Chuck. "Aren't you coming in?" Chuck shook his head. "Nah, I've got more jokes to tell and other kids to help. But don't worry, I'll be around. Just listen for the laughter." With a wink and a groan laugh, Chuck shuffled back into the fog, leaving Ellie and Zach smiling. From that day on, Ellie and Zach always shared Chuck's jokes, telling everyone about the funny zombie who helped them in the big scare. And somewhere in the night, Chuck continued his mission, spreading laughs instead of fear, one punchline at a time. Well, that was a wild and fun story about Zach, Ellie, and their new zombie friend who helped them find their way home. Now let's see what we got here. Okay, shoot the zombie, take him out in my little fort. The zombie was trying to go in my fort, and I do not like that. The zombie body has disappeared. I guess once you kill them, they eventually just disintegrate into the ground. Or into space or whatever. They really like that fort. That was a good distraction. I don't know why they hate the fort so bad, or why they like the fort so much, but they don't like the fort. Here we go. Let's go. Is that a tumbleweed or is that a zombie head rolling on the ground? Wow, those zombies are violent. And can kill very quickly. Alright, let's restart here. Respawn, whatever you want to call it. Oh, it is a tumbleweed. There's a tumbleweed. Okay, walk right through the tumbleweed. No problem. Was that a dead skeleton? I don't know. Cooch's TVs. Okay, so some of these places are not touched by zombies. I guess we're inside of an asylum or something? No, they can get in here, so I don't know why it's untouched. Here we go. Here's my police barricade to help keep the zombies away. That zombie is lost, just chilling against the wall there. Okay, keep going. Keep going. Don't stop. We can build low wall, high wall, a window, a canopy, ladder, doorway, ramp, or a sandbag. There you go. A ramp so that they can climb on it. Well, that'd be cool if I could get like a motorcycle or a car to try to jump the ramp. Now that would be cool. I'm guessing the zombies can just run up the ramp and attack me. Oh, they're actually pretty fast. They move like little fast zombies. Alright, well, let's enjoy another story. Carlos and Zach were the kind of best friends who always found themselves in weird situations. They had a knack for turning a regular day into an adventure, and this one was no exception. It all started when the boys decided to explore the old forest behind their neighborhood. Rumor had it, a zombie lived there. Naturally, they dared each other to check it out. Armed with flashlights and a backpack full of snacks, they ventured into the woods. As they wandered deeper, they saw movement in the shadows. Then they heard it, a low, growly voice muttering, "Brains, bandages, syringes." Did he say bandages? Zach whispered. "Focus on brains! Run!" Carlos yelled. The boys bolted. In a panic, Carlos tried to climb a tree to hide, but halfway up he slipped and landed with a loud thud. "Ah, my arm!" Carlos groaned, clutching it in pain. Before Zach could react, the supposed zombie emerged from the shadows. It was tall, green-skinned, and wore a tattered white coat. Its eyes glowed faintly, but to Zach's surprise, it wasn't drooling for brains. It was carrying a medical kit. "Oh dear, let me see that," the zombie said in a surprisingly calm and professional tone. "Wait, are you a zombie doctor?" Zach asked, frozen in disbelief. "Technically, I'm Dr. Zomberg. I used to be human, but, well, long story. I'm still licensed." Carlos, clutching his arm, didn't care about licenses. "Just help me, please." Dr. Zomberg gently examined Carlos's arm. "A minor fracture. Nothing I can't handle. Stay still." From his medical kit, Dr. Zomberg pulled out supplies and expertly splinted Carlos's arm. As he worked, he cracked jokes. "You're lucky I didn't bite. My bedside manner isn't that bad." Carlos managed to laugh through the pain. Zach, meanwhile, was amazed. "You're like the coolest zombie ever," with Carlos patched up, Doctor. Zomberg insisted on escorting them to the hospital. The sight of a zombie carrying a boy with a broken arm caused quite a stir, but Dr. Zomberg calmly explained everything to the staff. By the time the boys were treated and their parents arrived, Dr. Zomberg had become a local legend. "Thanks, Dr. Z," Carlos said as the zombie waved goodbye. "Anytime, kids. Remember, help can come from the most unlikely places, even the undead." As Dr. Zomberg shuffled back to the woods, Carlos and Zach exchanged a grin. They had a great story to tell, and a new appreciation for not judging a book or a zombie by its cover. Well, it sounds like Zach, Carlos, and Dr. Zomberg had a good old time. And we'll have some more stories with Carlos and Zach And maybe another zombie, since of course we are playing a zombie game, including boys and girls. Okay, so we can build high walls, windows, all right, good stuff. So let's look through the window. Not much in there except for somebody trying to protect themselves. Look at that, let me help you out. Should you put a barrier up on the wall so that... Okay, now you finally put one up inside the building. That's good. And another one right here. I think I'm just going to trap you inside and you can just stay in there. Okay, zombie. I need to make sure I am paying attention and staying alert for any zombies that come my way. Okay, it's wonderful to have Christmas presents in this big mess of everything. Alright, looks like the elf girl is standing guard, making sure that zombies stay away. And she got a zombie, so that's good. Good job. There we go. Oh, crap. Well, I got bitten. Does that mean I die? Probably at some point. I mean, when you get bitten by a zombie, you do eventually turn. There you go. Depending on which zombie movie you watch, it depends on how much time you have. Okay, drink a cola. Maybe that'll cure my zombie infection. Might help or just quench my thirst, I'm not sure. But we'll figure it out. Alright, zombies, stop breaking ramps and tearing stuff down. Alright, well, let's listen to another story about Zach and Carlos and their great adventures together as friends and zombie finders, going to creepy places and apparently a mansion or a house that is creepy. Carlos and Zach were best friends who shared a love of adventure. One sunny afternoon, they decided to explore the old abandoned mansion on the edge of town. Rumors swirled about the place being haunted, but the two boys weren't scared. Haunted, schmunted, Zach said, wielding a flashlight like a sword. Ghosts don't stand a chance against us. As they stepped into the dusty, creaky house, the air turned cold. Carlos shivered but tried to play it cool. Let's just look around and leave before dark, he suggested. The two wandered through cobwebbed hallways and peeked into musty rooms. Suddenly, they heard a groaning noise coming from the basement. Did you hear that? Carlos whispered. Yeah, Zach said, his bravado wavering. It's probably, pipes. The groaning grew louder. Against better judgment, they tiptoed toward the basement door, which creaked open on its own. There, at the bottom of the stairs, stood a zombie. Carlos screamed. Zach dropped his flashlight. The zombie looked up, startled by the noise. Whoa, 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 it said, holding up its decayed hands. Relax, I'm not here to eat you. Carlos and Zach froze. Zombies can talk? Zach asked. Of course we can talk, the zombie replied. I'm Zeke. I've been living here for years trying to avoid drama. People always assume I want to eat brains. Honestly, I'm vegan. Carlos and Zach exchanged confused glances. You're a vegan zombie? Carlos asked. Yep, Zeke said proudly. My diet consists of kale, tofu, and the occasional lentil soup. Humans taste gross anyway. The boys burst into laughter. Zeke joined in, his raspy laugh echoing through the basement. You two seem pretty cool, Zeke said. Want to stay for dinner? I make a mean veggie stew. And so, Carlos and Zach spent the evening with their new undead friend. Zeke told them hilarious stories about his attempts to fit in with humans. Once, I went to a vegan festival and they thought I was in costume, and taught them how to do the zombie shuffle. By the time they left, Carlos and Zach were no longer afraid of the mansion or zombies. They promised to visit Zeke often and even brought him a gift the next time, a potted plant to brighten up his basement. Zeke, in return, shared his secret kale recipe, which turned out to be surprisingly delicious. From that day on, the three of them remained friends, proving that sometimes the scariest-looking people have the kindest hearts and the best vegan recipes. Well, we really hope that you enjoy these fun stories while we play this zombie game here on Roblox. And another present. Try to chop it open. Anything good inside? Not really. Just a bunch of things that rolled out. I don't know what that was, like maggots or something. But anyways, hopefully you like our stories. We're going to tell one last story here at the end of this video, and hopefully you like it. Okay, so it is raining, downpouring, and making a total mess of things. Rain can be really good, especially if you're trying to survive. You can collect the rainwater in barrels or something else and use it for drinking water. But it would also make a mess and make it more difficult to survive. Especially with this bad weather, including rain and wind, and it looks like some type of fog, and it might be cold. So that could definitely make it more difficult. Since the zombies wouldn't be affected by the discomfort that the harsh elements bring to humans. So who knows? Hopefully that girl is okay. It looks like she has a bunch of dirt or something all over her. So, and here I am stuck with my head in the thing. So that was bad. I don't know what happened there, but I got stuck with my head sticking out there. Good thing a zombie didn't come at that point to see me. Alright, bullet holes in the box. That's kind of cool. And is there anything good in there? Oh, maybe a little few things, little gifts for me. And nothing great in there. Okay, well, thanks for watching. Please stick around and enjoy the last story that we have for you about the zombie apocalypse and some friends who find their way to school and home and find hope in what is a horrible, miserable time. But they try to find happiness and hope. Oh, was that a zombie? I like it. What is wrong with her? I guess maybe she is a zombie. She doesn't look like a zombie as much as the other ones, I guess. Okay, thanks for watching. Stick around and listen to this story, please. The sun rose in muted tones over the city, its rays diffused by the ever-present haze of ash and smoke. To most, the zombie apocalypse had turned the world into a grim place of survival, a never-ending nightmare of fear and loss. But for 5 friends, Ellie, Max, Sam, Tasha, and Leo, it was also an adventure, a wild ride of challenges that had, against all odds, brought them closer together. Chapter 1, The Morning Ritual. Another beautiful day in the apocalypse, Max declared as he shoved open the door of their makeshift safe house. The group's base of operations was an abandoned diner on the outskirts of the city, its faded neon sign now serving as a beacon of their resilience. Ellie rolled her eyes but couldn't suppress a smile. "You've got to stop being so chipper about this, Max. It's unsettling." Max grinned, adjusting the straps on his scavenged hockey pads. "Hey, someone's got to keep morale up." Sam was already packing their supplies into a patched-up backpack. "Let's focus. We've got to get to school before the sun gets too high. More light means more shamblers out and about." School, in this world, wasn't what it used to be. The building had been converted into a sanctuary for a group of survivors, including families with children. The 5 friends had taken it upon themselves to help ferry supplies and messages back and forth, a dangerous but necessary mission that gave their days purpose. Chapter 2, The Road Ahead. The journey to the school was a perilous one, weaving through overgrown streets, derelict buildings, and zombie-infested alleys. But the friends had turned it into a game of strategy and teamwork. They had nicknames for key landmarks. The Gauntlet was a narrow alley where zombies tended to congregate, while the Safe Zone was an old playground where the metal slides and swings provided quick escape routes. "All right, team," Tasha said, unfurling their hand-drawn map on the diner counter. "We'll take the east route today. There's been less activity near the library." Leo, the quietest of the group, nodded and adjusted his crossbow. "I'll take point." They set out together, each carrying their own role. Max was the decoy, always ready with noisemakers to draw the zombies away. Ellie was the lookout, her sharp eyes and steady nerves crucial for spotting threats. Tasha was the planner, keeping everyone organized. Sam was the medic, carrying a first aid kit and a wealth of knowledge. And Leo, with his deadly aim, was their protector. Chapter 3. Laughter Amid Chaos. Halfway to the school, the group ran into a snag. A horde of zombies had taken up residence in an old convenience store, blocking the road. "We're going to have to go around," Ellie said, scanning the horizon. "Or," Max said with a mischievous grin, "we could use the pizza bomb." The pizza bomb was one of Max's ridiculous inventions, a makeshift explosive disguised as an empty pizza box, rigged to make noise and spew smoke. "Max, you're ridiculous," Tasha said, but she was already laughing. "Fine, do it." With a flourish, Max hurled the box into the center of the horde. It exploded in a cacophony of sound and smoke, sending zombies stumbling in every direction. The group ducked through a nearby alley, giggling despite the danger. "Only you could make the apocalypse this absurd," Sam said, shaking his head. "It's a gift," Max replied, bowing dramatically. Chapter 4. The Safe Arrival. As the school came into view, a sense of relief washed over the group. They were greeted at the gates by Mrs. Hargrove, the de facto leader of the survivors. "Right on time, as always," she said, smiling warmly. The friends handed over their supplies and exchanged updates with the other survivors. The school's hallways echoed with the laughter of children, a rare and precious sound in this new world. Chapter 5. Reflections. That evening, back at the diner, the group gathered around a small fire. Leo, who rarely spoke, broke the silence. "You know, we're lucky," he said. The others turned to him, surprised. "Lucky?" Ellie asked. Leo nodded. "We have each other. Most people don't." For a moment, the weight of his words hung in the air. Then Max, never one to dwell on heavy emotions, raised his water bottle. "To us," he said, "the best team in the apocalypse." "To us," the others echoed, their voices filled with warmth and hope. In a world overrun by chaos and despair, their friendship was a light that refused to go out. Together, they had found a way to not just survive, but to live, laugh, and hope. And as long as they had each other, they knew they could face whatever came their way.